One of the reasons these home renos are so fun. 1, 2, 3. Oh, where are the rest? There were half a dozen of them. 1, 2, 3. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Like Clarkwork. We're here back at the house, trying to get rid of the rest of the floor that's here, kind of cleaning it up and pulling it out, getting these joists out, and then we kind of turn our attention to what's left of this load-bearing wall that you see there to the left. A bunch of those, and then there's actually a couple other posts that you don't see in the picture right now that we gotta work on taking out as well. So we're going to build a little bit of a temporary structure so that we can pull out the actual structure, so that we can put the new structure in and eventually take the temporary structure out. So that's kind of the plan. It's not overly complicated, but it's kind of hard to explain, so just continue to follow along and see how we make out. One of the things I'm curious about is how many of you guys watching have done your own home renovations. Leave a comment of some of your best stories or some of the best crazy things that you've found while doing your own renovations or helping somebody with a renovation. It's always quite a trip to tear apart one of these old homes and try to put them back together. If how easy those came up off the floor without taking out any screws or anything like that doesn't tell you just how bad the floor is. I don't know. I don't quite know what will. So it's funny, it has this this plastic here, which is like what I assume was like a water vapor barrier, so that the moisture from the ground wouldn't rot the wood, which is exactly what happened. And in the joists they have the insulation, which is part of what I'm picking up. And so they had the joists, they had the insulation. On that side they had like purlins, I didn't see any over here, to hold like little pieces of wood to hold the insulation up in the joists. And then they laid this plastic down for the water vapor barrier, which is good, smart. But at some point, when they installed this post that's here, they poured a little inch and a half pad right here to rest it on, which isn't enough. I don't know if you can tell, but it's cracked and broken where all the weight sits on. But they actually put that over top of the vapor barrier and the insulation that had fallen down off the joists whenever they did this. So over time, or whatever happened, the insulation fell down onto the ground. And when they took it apart to put this in to help support something, which apparently it's actually holding weight, which I need to take note of, they didn't pick any of it up or replace it or do much about it. They just put the concrete right on top of it and then put a post underneath this, which, again, I don't know if you can quite tell from there, isn't actually fully underneath it. It's just interesting. Maybe the post wasn't here originally. Maybe it was just the beam and the 4x4. Maybe that's all it was originally, and then they put the post in. And they kind of guessed roughly where it was, and they got close. I give them credit for that, I guess. Maybe that was the original doing, but interesting. Now I'm not really a toenail kind of guy. I'm not really one for foot fetishes, so I think I'm gonna add something like that, just so it doesn't go crazy on me. Well, she'll do. One down. Thinking I can take this one out. Just to see what happens. Maybe add another couple boards just to... My fear isn't that she necessarily goes this way. Although she might. My fear is that she'll go this way. This way. We'll see. Once I get the other one up, I can lock them this way, maybe. At least on one side. Now I've got to do about the same thing on the other side. Hoping that I'm not going to really push it up. I'm just going to push the bottom down into the dirt more. That's my hope. I don't know what the exact science to it all is. Or if you can even, if you can even get a good look. But this here is the center one. Got a post here, post there, and then a post back there. Surrounding it, so I've got kind of like a header up top, both sides of the beam. At that seam there. Apologize. So it's actually pushing this beam on this side up a little bit. Smacking this one in. If you look too closely, it's a little bowed. I think that's just because of the wood not so much because of the pressure. And then I put a bunch of cross pieces back and forth and sideways and up and down and all around town, just so it doesn't have a tendency to shift or to twist too much. And theoretically, I should be able to take all these bottom ones out. Theoretically. So my overall plan, if you want to call it that, is to keep this up temporarily, so that I can take this post out. There's a post there. These two back here, the two 2x4 ones there, which I don't think are actually doing a whole lot, especially if you look at the bottom right now. I don't know if you can see it, but they're not necessarily. Only about an inch of them is over the beam, which is fine. They're not. One of them is labeled load bearing or something like that. So one of them is actually supposed to be holding some weight. But again, it's just transferring it. I'm sure it worked fine. But once I cut everything and pulled everything out, or once everything got destroyed because of the moisture, it wasn't doing a whole lot. Anyway, so pull these out, pull that beam there out. There's one on this side of me as well. Pull that out. There's one going, here as well. I should be able to pull all three of those out, which all converge underneath this post. So again, if I was lifting that up, there's not a whole lot of pressure, at least on that end anymore, for those and that. Which really just leaves this side, which has an extra post, so I could potentially pull this out first, and any load that wouldn't be transferred to this might be held up by that, which isn't doing it, which might help. I don't know. It's 9 o'clock. Never ate dinner. Had a singular corn dog for lunch. Actually went out for breakfast this morning, so we had a good talk. So I had breakfast. This is the most important meal of the day, as they say. I haven't eaten much since, so I'd like to go home, find something to eat. You'll notice as I was raking some stuff up, I saw some goodies. This is a salt shaker, little plump man. A bunch of singular shoes. Bunch of singular shoes. Nice boot. Not quite a matching boot, but another boot. A purple flip-flop. The top. A lid to a pan. Pretty rugged saw blade. And then this thing, which I think is maybe a shin guard cap plate, or like a Power Ranger suit, like arm thing. It looks like it could fit there really well. And then some cups, some rugs, a bunch of other trash. Anyway, I was really waiting until really hoping I could find the box full of cash, but never came. Maybe it's in this wall. that I haven't torn out yet. So I guess that's about it for this video. I don't know. Is it? Let's see if the house falls down. I do. Of course, I have to go away this weekend. This coming weekend, so I won't be back. Again, I won't be back here for a week and a half or more. So I'm kind of like, maybe I should just leave it as it is. Or do I have confidence in myself? Boy, you cannot see me very well. I put some lags in this way too, as well as the 3 toenails on your side, but they're lags. Their lags only went through, oh, that's sorry. Their lags only went through 1/2 inch one and maybe 1/4 inch the other. 7'5". I didn't realize we only go to 7'9". This is a floor jack, so I need 8 inches higher than this. I really just want to. I really just want one here, kind of temporarily at least. With my thought goal. Has the directions nicely on the outside of the box even. Some sort of window to out of the sea. Okay. Wooden top. Time to go to bed. Well, there we go. I feel like I've hit a pretty significant milestone in getting all the rest of the floor out, getting those lower beams out that were this way and that way, taking care of this center beam, or this center post. I've got a floor jack in there now, just kind of temporarily helping, adding some support. But I think these 4x4s are what's doing most of the work right now. With that, I feel pretty confident in leaving it for the week and a half anyway that I'll be gone. But after that, yeah. Sorry. After that, I'll kind of probably do something a little different with this floor jack. I might pull it out and reset it. The ground's not quite as level as I'd like. I've got it on a big beam that I don't really like, mostly because it can kind of hinge and twist out. But it's something, I guess. That's my thought. I'm gonna have to build that up. Eventually, the stone is gonna come up probably a good 10-12 inches in here, and I'll pour like a little square footer pad for this jack that'll sit here. But yeah, other than that, we're done for the night. It's only 10 o'clock, which isn't too bad. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I feel like today I've actually hit a pretty decent milestone. So thanks for coming along and accomplishing it with me, kind of. At least watching me accomplish it. Really appreciate you guys' support.
hit the like button if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm only looking at some bugs and some more spiders. That's all. Make sure they're not getting too close. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one.